first, thank you to everyone that came today. Each of the panelists, I mean, like, it hit home, right? A lot of it is lived experience for me. And a lot of things have been said, but I think the main thing is when we talk about budgets, you hit it dead on. One of the hardest things, I want to say the hardest thing, being a lawmaker in this building, in this state, representing an underrepresented community, right? The city of New Haven, I represent, my district has the highest crime rate in the entire city. And I come in this building and I advocate for what I know is needed, what I know works, right? Because the people closest to the problems are closest to the solutions, but oftentimes furthest from the power. So as someone with some power, my effort to empower them is to bring them back home what they need. And it's resources, it's funding. And I just can't understand for the life of me how the communities that are in greatest need in this state get the least. And we have to, right? Keep talking about the crabs in the barrel. We have to fight over the crumbs. And that shouldn't be the case. Because when we lift from the bottom, guess what happens? Everybody's elevated. Even the people in the middle, the people at the top, everybody is elevated when you lift from the bottom. And a lot of people look at our communities and they look at our children and all they see is the problems and the bad things. Like Rep. Walker said, a lot of it is not televised when we do well because that's not what the media likes to hype. And it creates fear, and that fear continues to monger, and it puts a stranglehold on us when we try to get what we need to lift these kids and these families up out of poverty. Poverty is what drives this. You want to know how to get the guns out their hands and to stop the crime and to stop the killing? Make sure people have livable, sustainable wages, right? Make sure that they have affordable housing. Make sure that they have whole foods in their community and not corner stores and liquor stores. We have created communities that are conducive to crime. And then we sit here trying to solve it like we don't know what the solution is. You said it. We have communities that do exceedingly and abundantly well. We don't need to recreate the wheel. We don't have to rewrite this book. We know what works. Education. I have kids in my district that are graduating from 12th grade illiterate. I have 6th graders reading on a kindergarten level. What are you going to get out of them? We have to invest. When you make an investment, you yield an interest. And we are not investing in these communities. And then we want to scratch our head and act like we don't understand why there's no interest coming from that. You get out of them what you put in them. And when children are crying out for help, you don't push them out, you pull them in. And I'm speaking as a mother and a grandmother. And if my 7-year-old 2nd grade grandson was in crises, you better believe I'm calling the village. Credible messengers, that's what I call y'all, the village, because that's really what it is. It's the village, and we got to bring that back. And our communities do need to take some responsibility here, but the government and these policies, poverty is a policy choice. The issues that we are discussing here today are policy choices. What do we need to do? We need to change the choices we're making. And that's not on the communities that we're out here fighting for. That is on us. The power lies in our hands as lawmakers. It is our responsibility to make sure we taking home the bacon. And it shouldn't be bacon that we fighting over, right? We can't live off of crumbs. You can't, think about substance for your body. If you're not eating good, healthy food, what are you gonna get? Guess what? Hypertension, diabetes, cancer, lupus, the things that are running rampant in our communities, environmental justice. It's all intersectional. So at the end of the day, I say we really have to get past what we've been talking about, because we've been talking about this forever. It is time to put boots on the ground where the rubber meets the road, roll up your sleeves and get it done. And you can't be afraid of these kids. You cannot. Jahad, you mentioned it. I was at Panera. When Panera was shutting down after school, they were closed for hours because these kids were coming out of Hampton High School wreaking havoc. And you know what stopped them from wreaking havoc? Community members, local and state officials showing up and taking up space. I'm watching you. You was raised better than that, and you're not going to do that on my watch. You're going to act right or you're going to leave here. And better yet, a lot of them didn't even know. I knew their parents or their grandparents. I'm going to call your mama. Uh-oh. It still works, y'all. It still works. We just got to get back to doing what we were having done to us when we were kids. Amen. We've gotten disconnected, disjointed, and this pandemic has done us no favors, right? It has desocialized us even further, disconnected us and disengaged us, marginalized us, and criminalized us. We are criminalizing childhood behaviors. And we got to level the playing field for real. Where is the equity in this? Because the scales of justice are not equal. So you're right, we're going to tell the truth, but it ain't just the kids telling us the truth, it's us telling one another the truth. Because we got to live with this thing. And if we want everybody to be well and prosper, then everybody has to pitch in. And we have to put the money where the greatest need is, period. Thank you so much.